Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, dear traders. We would like to welcome you to our daily live trading webinar. We call it Real-Time Daily Trading Ideas, 5 days, 5 traders, and we would like to screen the markets, show you some interesting trading setups, and answering your question. But first of all, here our risk disclaimer. Be aware that Forex and CFD are leveraged products and can result in losses that exceed your deposit. So they maybe not be subtitled for everyone. Please be aware that all we are showing and presenting here today is just a personal opinion and not an advice for investing. So as I said to the beginning, 5 days, 5 traders. Today is Monday, and today is with Mike. He is doing his job for Jay today. So later more about Mike and his trading style. So here are a short overview about our offerings. So maybe, for example, here our DAX 30 with a typical fixed spread of only 0.8 points during the main trading hours. If you have additional questions, feel free to contact us. Here you can see our telephone number and also our email. All these webinars are recorded, so you can see it later in our YouTube channel. So here is a picture from Mike. I say hello to you, Mike. I hope the sound is well and you can hear me. Mike, can you hear me?
Great. Now I'm unmuted, and hello to
hello.
Nice to our audience and to Berlin again. Yeah, this week you can see me 2 times. One time Monday for Jay, and my regular day is Wednesday. And we should start, of course, at first that I show you my monitor. And because of it's Monday, I start the week this week, and some of you guys might not know who I am and who I trade. Before I switch over to my trading ideas, I just give you a quick introduction to my trading. What I do here is I use the MT5 with the Supreme version, and I'm a trend trader, so I don't trade when I see no trades and no trends, sorry for this. And what I do too is I combine different trend sizes, or I combine different time frames. And for this reason, I have the MT5 monitor with 3 different time frames. You see here the daily chart, the hourly chart, and the 5-minute charts. And I trade, for example, when I have a downtrend in the hourly, I trade the 5-minute trend into the hourly trend. And when I trade the daily trend, then will I trade from the hourly into the daily. This is my style. This is how I see what the market participants are doing. And so can I get a feeling for the markets? And I would like to trade with the markets, not against the markets. So this is my style. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask this question. And yeah, we will show you the answer in the webinar. Right, okay, let's start with my normal routine. I hope the sound is well, and as long as we have a good sound, is everything fine when you see the picture. So for now, I start every time with the news. I have always an eye on the news, because of news can have huge impact into the chart. So for this reason, I start my trading day always with a look to the daily news. And you see this here, my little snippet. There's not that much to do on the news side for today. So this is nothing that we have to have in mind for today. But one thing is very, very important. We have the ECB press conference this week, and this week Thursday, and Friday the US GDP report. So all these things do we see later in the week. And I think sometimes the markets are waiting for this news, and sometimes it's a bit boring. So when we see no trades, we should not trade. But at the moment, I have some trading ideas for you. It's in gold, in oil, the S&P 500 for the afternoon. And I know some of you guys trade the Bitcoin, US dollar, some of you guys even the euro pendant to them. So I will have a look to this too. Right, okay, let's start with my MT5 Supreme version. And with this one, let's start with the gold. I mentioned the gold in my last webinar last Wednesday, and here is it. What's happened till then. I mentioned last week I'm expecting a correction. You see this here in the daily chart. Here was a resistant level, and the hourly was not so strong, more trending down. And you see what's happened in the market. The market came down, started a correction, and it was a really hard day here. This day, it's led the correction down to the breakout level, what is always a good good level to open new trades in the trend direction. But this is history. We are now where we are here, and this is the candle for today. So what my idea is for here, have a look into the hourly chart and the 5-minute chart, so we can combine these two. And what we see here in the hourly chart, we have a new uptrending markets. That means what I see here is what's interesting for me here is we had this last down movement here, and these markets got broken, and now do we have a new uptrend. And the good idea, no, the good news here on this situation is that we have here a downtrending markets here in this area. So what? And this one is broken here. You see this red line over here. And this is interesting for short-term trading. I guess the daily chart can be in the situation that we can get a second down move here in this one. This can happen. It must not, but this situation is not so interesting for me to trade long in the daily chart. But for short-term trading, is it very, very interesting because of you see what's happened. You see the hourly chart here in this situation that this little tiny trending down markets over here is broken, and you see this here in the 5 minutes. Wonderful. You have the trend uptrending in the markets, and this is the new trending markets. The 5-minute chart is trending up again, and what you can do here now is you just use a switch off the draw mode. You just use what you see in the 5 minutes. You use this trend over here. You have here, this is the trend that you see here, and we are now at the moment in its correction. Yeah, was the last movement, and this what you see here is the correction. And as soon as we have a new uptrend, I enlarge this picture a bit more for you. So what we have here is, you see here this little downtrend. This is the correction. So you have two different trend sizes in this time frame, and the hourly has broken his downtrend. So what we can do now is we just trade the 5-minute trend, and as long as we have a downtrend, I wouldn't trade this. I just need to trade in the up direction, and you should wait till we have a new trend up. So what's this? What I'm looking for is this is the current correction in this markets, and then can you have the situation that the markets is going above this level here and creating a new uptrend. And this is the situation when you see exact this picture. I don't know when this will happen, but if it's happened, you should be aware of the situation. When we have a break and then a new uptrend, this is the situation when I would wait for. I'm sorry that I can't give you direct numbers because of the correction is still running in the situation, and we need a trend. So for this one here, the 5 minutes are trending down at the moment. So that means if you really would like to trade a trend in the 5 minutes, you should trade down the downtrend. And but if you do like I do it, I prefer to combine the trend sizes. You should wait till you have a new uptrending market in the 5 minutes, and then can you trade with the money here, with this reversal pattern that we have here. And this is exact what we would like to see here. Right. Next one is the oil with the WTI in the markets here. And what is it? What we should see here? First of all, this week, like every week, Wednesdays, the oil market report, you should have this in mind. But more interesting for this one is it now that I mentioned the last week, Wednesday, the situation that we had here, like a little top over here. That means a correction could we started and we are now in a correction. That means the market is here. You see this is trending down, but at the moment in the resistance level. And this is a situation where the markets can turn back into the main trend direction, and we have a really strong uptrend at the moment. That does not mean that we can get deeper corrections, but at the moment the market is really strong. So what I do here is now I just have a look into the hourly trend. So that means when we have a new uptrending markets or pressure from below to the upside, we should see at first the pressure in the hourly chart. So, and what we have here now in the hourly chart is that we still have a downtrending markets in the big picture. I show you what I mean. I don't mean these small things here. I just mean the big picture in the hourly, and this one is trending down at the moment. So this is what we see here. And the interesting situation now, when you want to trade the hourly, then can you use the 5 minutes for trading into the hourly? And this is very interesting at this point because we are in a relative deep correction. And this is a good situation to trade from the higher points over here, from the correction highs to the lows in this area. That means in the resistance level. That means if you really want to trade this, you just wait till the 5 minutes go down again. And we have here the situation that we have the uptrending markets in the 5 minutes. So this one to show for you. These are the 5 minutes here in the big window above. So, and here is what we have now. We had a huge spike in the up area, and now the market is trending down. And when we see here a new downtrend, you can try to find an entry with targets at the latest lows here in this area. So what can you see, or what would happen in the markets? I go back to the hourly trend. So I must enlarge this for you a little bit that you see a bit more. So this one is the level where we have the support area, and in the support area the markets went up again. So the picture is not really clear in the situation, but this trend, if you just have an eye to the trends, the trend is now a downtrend, and the market is at the upper side over here. So what we have here is the 5 minute charts. We have not yet a trend, but here this situation is the correction, and the interesting point is now this level over here. And what you can do is you can try to open a position when we have the trend in this situation over here, and the target is of course the level down here in the 63.20 area, 63.10 area, and you can ask the question, who will sell after you? That means you have here, 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 and here situations where you can find probably more people who would like to sell, and this is very good for you because of these are situations where you can make your take profit. Okay, let's switch over to the S&P 500 index. Very important indice for worldwide traders, and here is what's so interesting for me. Of course, there's no question the daily chart is uptrending. We had here at this day we had a strong down day, and since then the markets are trending up again, and you see this uptrending here in the hourly. This is so wonderful to see. This is an increasing triangle. It's a pattern from the technical analysis, and this pattern here in uptrending markets is very often very good and profitable to trade. What you see here is you don't see really higher highs, but you see higher lows. That means the pressure comes from below to the top, and this situation over here is very good. When we find breakouts, it's very often very good to trade. So, and sometimes do we see here in the narrow points a wonderful thing. I call this, sorry, I call this a channel. This one here is the channel. And interesting is it when you have a breakout of this channel. You can trade the breakout in both directions. But for me, it's very interesting to trade into the trend direction. So what I expect here is when the markets will break this level over here, you can find new buyers. That means here is the all-time high, and then can you trade from a resting situation like you have here in this channel. And when the markets becomes strong again, then we have the breakout in all time frames, and this is very good for short-term trading. That means you can expect a move up here because of the trend traders, for example, in the hour or in the daily chart, wait at the all-time highs, probably with new buy orders, and this is what the markets can bring up again, and this is what you should have in mind when you see the markets. Okay, and then for this one, for this session, my last instrument is the Bitcoin US dollar. Here it is, and here you have the markets, and this is so wonderful also. I like it. I love it to trade trends, and when you see the markets here, of course, the Bitcoin is trending down in the daily chart. We had a lot of pressure over the last days. You see here this downtrending markets, and when you see this one in the big picture, you see, of course, we had here the last uptrending markets, and this uptrend is broken at the moment. We have a clear downtrending markets in a correction at the moment, of course, and this market is extreme volatile. That means you can trade into all directions that you would like to trade. And very interesting to see is the situation at the moment in the hourly chart. That means the daily chart is at the moment, of course, in a short. So when we get prices below this level over here in this markets, that means I expect as soon as we get here, when we go below this level over here, we will see lower prices, probably very, very soon. But I know there are traders out there who like to trade the hourly chart. And the hourly chart, you see this here, is at the moment in an uptrend. So what you see here is this one is the downtrend. I switch over to the drawing tool. This is quicker to do. That means this one, what we see here, is the downtrend, or was the downtrend. Yeah, this was initiated here. This uptrend, this little uptrend was broken over here. And what is now to see, we have here a valid uptrend in the hourly chart, and this trend is in its correction. So with this in the chart to see, can you have in mind, all right, let's trade from this trend, from the correction of this trend into the upper version of this trend here. So just use the 5 minute, and when the 5 minutes are going up again, then will you see the entry signal. So at the moment you see this here, this was the last tiny uptrend in the 5 minutes, and you see this here, we get in the hourly chart pressure from above at the moment, so that the trend is the hourly trend is still in its correction till we are below at this stage over here. That means here is this little downtrending markets. From this area over here, I draw a line in it, or I just take this one below. Can I get this? Yes, here it is. This area over here. This is a situation when the market's going down again. So when you want to trade in short term, in really short term trading, you see the situation for now. The hourly trend is still in its correction. If you would like to trade this correction, you see the market is in a good shape at the moment for a down trade, because of we have, sorry, I need this here. We have the situation here that the 5 minutes are at the moment indicates lower highs, and when we go above this level over here, do we have a downtrend? So in this situation, can you have a trade opportunity for a down trade, and you can find targets in this area here, 11,400, round about 89. Then over here in this area, first of them, second of them, so 1100, 11,387, and then here in this area 11,222 in this area. That means you have a lot of signals for the short position, and this can bring us lower. That means at the moment, are we in the correction of the daily chart? For this reason, do you have a long trade, a long trend in the hourly chart? And when you would like to trade this uptrend, you should see a new uptrend here in the 5 minutes. That means we should go above the 11,912. But for all of you who would like to trade in the downtrend of the hourly, you should see the markets in the hourly trending down again, and then can you trade the hour into the daily chart, and you see then prices below this level over here in the daily chart. And this is the situation when you can find new entries for the downside, and targets are of course here in this area. The level in the daily chart here, I show this for you. Oops. Right. This one would be one of the first targets of this trade. That means there's a lot of money to earn. So it's good to be patient and to see what the markets will do. So for now, I have finished my preparations, and I hope you can get some new trading ideas for this day or for the next days. And with them, I give back to Berlin and ask you, have we some questions that we can answer in the webinar?
Okay, Mike, thanks you for your showing us some interesting trading ideas and how the markets start in the new week. At the moment, we have not new. Let me check the question field. No. At the moment, we have no questions. So I think we are good in time here. So that's it for the moment, in my opinion. So thank you for your screening the markets. And
you're welcome.
So yeah, dear ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow same time we are also here. Tomorrow with Paul. So yeah, thanks again, Mike, and thanks to the audience. You can see later this session on YouTube as well. So yeah, thanks again, everybody. So we hear us tomorrow. Some last words from you, Mike, if you like.
Yes, of course. I would also like to say goodbye. I hope you find some interesting trading ideas. Make good trends, and we see us, or make good trades, not the trends. We are not able to make trends as private traders in these markets, but I hope you find some good trading opportunities. And we see and hear us this week on Wednesday, 11 o'clock. So if you like, say goodbye and till Wednesday. Bye-bye.